Hello there, my name's Nene Valley. Welcome to the video. And this is a review on my Hornby Railroad version of the Flying Scotsman. Now I bought this model of the Flying Scotsman almost 6 years ago now from a shop in Wellingborough called the Loco Centre. And unfortunately the Loco Centre is no longer with us. It closed down 4 years ago. There is another shop open in Wellingborough now called Wellingborough Trains and Models. But in Wellingborough on the whole, and around sort of Northamptonshire area, there are a lot of shops that unfortunately are closing down or have closed down. And it seems mainly because of the internet, and not only the internet, but the fact that the council charges sky-high rents. Shops just can't afford to keep going, which I think is a real shame. You know, personally, I'd rather go into a shop and buy something off the shelf rather than off the internet, but then sometimes, myself and others are not left with much choice, especially when you consider the fact that, sometimes it's £20, £30 cheaper to buy a train on the internet, or not just a train, but anything in general sort of thing, than it is to buy it in a shop. And also the convenience. I mean, I do shift work, so, sometimes it's hard for me to go downtown, on a daily sort of basis. But yeah, this is the model of the Flying Scotsman. I think it's fair to say the Flying Scotsman is definitely one of my favourite locomotives. I've seen it on a number of occasions, as you can see here. And also, I was very lucky to get my video footage of it on the news. The news when they were doing a story about trespassing. And it is a shame that people have to trespass, or people chose to trespass, really. It ruins it for everyone else. But also it puts their lives at risk, and your own safety is a lot more important than seeing a steam locomotive. This one, as it being the railroad version, the cheaper one, it doesn't have any of the name plaques like you'd get under there. And if you look at the lettering, it doesn't really stand out that well. It's a bit sort of flat. Normally it would sort of stand out. You've got the Flying Scotsman nameplate there over the wheel arch. That's quite nice. There's a look at the front of the loco. And the buffers. The buffers aren't sprung type buffers. And there is actually a brand new version of the Flying Scotsman out that looks more like what it does now. And I would like to get that another time. Yeah, and also going back to the number is different to what the Flying Scotsman number is now. And also the real Flying Scotsman has smoke deflectors just there, as you can see from this photo here. So this one doesn't come with any smoke deflectors. And also on the inside, the cab's got some detailing, but it's not painted or anything. But like I said, being the railroad version, with Hornby you do pay for what you get. So that's and obviously this being the railroad version, it is a little bit cheaper. The idea of the railroad version was that it was designed for sort of the younger market to make it a little bit more affordable. I mean, they are still expensive though, don't get me wrong. So here you can see the packaging that the Flying Scotsman comes in. Very basic Hornby Railroad packaging. Mentions that it comes DCC ready. Also got the price tag there. However, you can just about see from this photo here that I actually got a little bit cheaper than that when I bought it. I've got the receipt here, so you can see I've had this for nearly 6 years. Another thing you might be interested in seeing is this fridge magnet I've got, Flying Scotsman. Sort of moves, and it looks like the Flying Scotsman does now, but with an apple green livery, and it's also got the smoke deflectors. So, like I said, a little bit like what the Flying Scotsman looks like now. Here's one of my other photos of it. Also, you've got packaging inside there as well. Instruction, sorry, inside the packaging, and a little plastic case to protect it. So very well. On the whole, though, despite some of the flaws, I really do like this model. This isn't the only model I've got. I've got the Thomas Tank Engine version, and I've got lots of Flying Scotsman merchandise. And there's been lots of different children's ranges that have chosen to make models of the Flying Scotsman because it is such a well-known and famous iconic locomotive. And I got that from a shop in Ellsbarton called Jay's. I went there on my bike, had a nice day out a few weeks back. But yeah, I've had a little run in this model, and as you can see here, it does run really well indeed. Before I go though, there was one thing I'd like to say. If I had to give this model a score, obviously bearing in mind that I've had a really nice time with it, and obviously the fact that also what I like is the fact that it's actually loco driven, powered by the driving wheels and not the tender like the Thomas version. I would actually give this an 8.5 out of 10. Because although it's not entirely realistic, you know, I can still look at that and say, you know, that is the Flying Scotsman. You know, it's not that it doesn't look like it at all. It does have its similarities, and like I said, it is a cheaper sort of version. And again, like I said before, but you do pay for what you get. I mean, it has been in the news recently that Hornby have struggled, and also the fact that they're been struggling as well has been on the news, and they're stopping the Thomas range as well. They haven't got the license anymore. I do think it's a shame, really, but sign of the times. Like I said, unfortunately, we've seen loads of things, like Toys R Us, for example, closed down this year. It's just the way things are, unfortunately. But yeah, here's footage of this train running, and please enjoy.